Hello everyone, so this is another day. I believe that this is like day 5 of my entrepreneur journal. So today I have built like over half of my fourth demo, like AI automation system for real estate agents. So I have been building this for like over 3 weeks. So it has been taking a lot of time. And like there's a lot of lessons I have learned throughout this time duration. So I have been building this demo for like 3 weeks, and for the first three demos that I have built, they all failed. But I had to like refine them all, because like I found like a lot of bottlenecks, a lot of weaknesses, and a lot of things that I couldn't do with the platform, and like I was trying to like add a lot of features into just one demo product. So like that's one lesson that I had to learn in a harsh way. So I have never done any businesses in my life entirely, and I have never like gone into like this kind of technology business or anything like that. So like it has been a little bit strange, and like I believe that there's a lot of things that I will be able to learn from this industry, from this journal, from this adventure, so on, right? And this is the first lesson. So the first one is that I used to like add a lot of feature even into my demo stuff. So it's not necessary and it's not recommended for anyone to add more than like 3 to 4 features. And if they are not necessary, then just don't add it, just remove it. Focus on improving what actually matter. But also like when you are trying to improve that thing that actually moves the needle, don't take too much long. Don't take months, but just build it within weeks. 1 to 2 months is fine, but if you can do it like in within weeks, that's a lot better, right? But like for something like a lot similar, just like AI automation system, AI agent system, a lot similar, because I'm just using local platform, local AI coding platform such as Make.com, Zapier.com, like NAN, those kind of platform, which offer a lot of great integration, a lot of like support, embedding, and integrating these AI workflow, AI automation into like existing business workflow and operation, right? So since I'm using those platform, they give me a lot of help. They give me like a lot. They lower a lot of the tech barrier for me because I have no tech prior knowledge or background. So like I can literally compete anyone who has a lot of experience and who has been like coding for years since they were young in this technical stuff, right? I cannot compete with them, but what I can actually focus on is about business stuff, right? So I need to know how to market. I need to know how to actually deliver the best possible product as possible as I can to the client, and how to build relationship with them, how to retain them, how to like build stronger relationship, like long-term relationship, not just like one-time set of feel and then goes, right? I don't want to be like that guy. I don't want to sell to someone once and then goes. That's not something that I would like to do. What I want to do is I want to build a strong network with strong and like meaningful relationship that will be beneficial to each other by helping each other, by supporting each other. So these are the relationships that I want to build. And like of course like it doesn't matter whether it is my client, whether it is my partner, whether it is my like co-founder, whether it is my teammate, whether it's my group member, whoever it is, right? I would like to build some kind of relationship, meaningful relationship, as I said, with them, all of them. I feel like it will be dependent. It will like the relationship, type of relationship will be also different based on their roles, based on their like, how do I say, their relationship and their bond to me. These kind will be different, of course, like, and their personality, of course, like, because like you can't approach to different people with the same approach, with the same method, but you have to change your approach. You have to change how you tackle to that person, to a specific person, based on their personality, based on their like, based on their dislike, based on what they choose, based on their psychology, based on their mentality, those kind of things, right? You have to understand, especially like if you are a leader or if you are someone who is running a big community or corporation or like if you are a CEO, manager, so these people have to be very careful. Have to be very careful when they trying to approach to people, because they have to make sure that they understand the person they are trying to approach. They understand what they need. They understand what they want, and they understand that how they can actually use that desire of them or that pain of them that they might have, and use them as a weapon to get what they want, right? So that's usually like what I found in most of the manager, most of the like leadership people, right? That's how people approach to other people, right? They don't use the same approach. They use different approach based on personality, those kind of things, right? So back to the topic. So I have that's my first lesson. So I was like literally like adding more and more features, but not actually executing anything well or any of that. So I just adding more and more features, which are like just totally bullshit. But instead, what I should have done is I should have just focused on one, two, three features that will actually move the needle, and then remove the rest and only focus, only like pay devote all of my energy, all of my focus, all of my time into improving, into like developing that feature as best as possible in a very short amount of time, in a very limited, like constrained amount of time, right? Because I also don't want to spend a lot of time building this stuff, right? It's just a demo, it's just a like MVP, minimal viable product. So I can just literally, probably I may not need it, because most of the client will ask for it if you can actually press their pain, if you can actually like wellly, if you can if you're pretty good at like pitching and like creating a solution, presenting a solution in a position that will actually make them see your offer, see your solution as the only best one to solve their specific biggest pain point that they have. Also, it depends on how you present, how you position your offer, your solution, how you agitate their pain point, so that they become like more urgent. They feel like more emotional. So most of the let's be real, right? Humans are emotional creatures, right? They act based on how they feel. They act based on their emotion, and only then they justify their decision with the logic, right? So if you want to make them buy, if you want to make them like make some decision, whether it is jump on a call, whether it is close a deal, whether it is whatever it is, right? Whether it is inviting them to get on a call to view the demo project that you have been building, whatever it is, right? So if you can actually press the emotional part of them, which are like pain point, desire, need, those kind of things, right? There's a lot of things that you can learn, that you can actually use in real life, and those are not manipulation or dark psychology, because everyone using it every single time. Especially if you are a business owner, you will have to use those kind of tactics, those kind of psychology tricks, and those kind of psychology understanding fundamentals most of the time, especially when you're on a sales call, right? If you don't understand the prospect that you're talking to, then you won't actually be able to solve their problem as best as you can, right? As best as you should, and they won't feel like they won't feel like they pay the right thing. They won't feel like they got the amount of like fair price. Like they won't think that they got the value that they bought, right? They will think like they just got lower perceived value. They will see your product, they will see your offer as a lower value, right? Because you didn't deliver as you promised, you didn't deliver as fast as you should. So always, another lesson that I have learned is always deliver, over deliver, and under promise, right? Never over promise, just over deliver, right? Because if you can actually build reputation, build brand, build a strong, image from the day one, it will be a lot helpful for you, and it will be like a building brick, like strong brick that will be very like foundational to building your empire. Right, so that's very important and crucial. So make sure that you always over deliver and under promise. Right, so that's the second lesson that I have learned. And the last one is that a little bit related to the first one. So it is about like just don't consume anything, just build something, right? So don't consume everything you see on internet or social media, especially like YouTube, right? Because most of the people spend their time, especially like ambitious people, spend most of their time, and people like of course like people who cannot afford thousands of dollars or like coaching programs, courses, consulting programs, so they can't afford them, so they just have to use free resources. So they jump on the YouTube and search on topic that they want to learn about, that they want to know about, that they want to like something like master, right? And they get a lot of resources which are absolutely free, right? Some of them include like pay plans, some of them include like call to action to the next step, which they will sell you through either emails or programs, some kind of that stuff, right? But whatever, they will give you some kind of like valuable free resources and fundamental basics that you can actually master, that you can actually understand within hours or within weeks, within days, right? So a lot of people, especially ambitious people, but don't have money, just like me. So I also used to spend a lot of my time, like around 2 years, just watching YouTube videos, taking notes. That was the worst thing. Guess what? What was the worst thing that happened to me was that I consumed most of the content that was like publishing it at the time, and after watching all of them, I felt like my productivity increased very much. I feel like so great because I feel like I have achieved something very big. I have learned everything on the YouTube, everything on the social media, everything on the internet. Now I have mastered the skill set. That is how I feel. But the reality is that I have mastered none. Because like, I have never experienced any of those skills, any of the lessons that I have learned through these YouTube videos, these social media posts, these social media social media videos, any of them. I have watched every of them, but I have never learned any single of them, and I don't remember any single of them after 48 hours of watching those kind of videos. Because the more content you consume, the less you were able to maintain, the less you were able to retain the memory, because you didn't experiment, you didn't implement the lessons into the real world. Right? So if you want to actually master or just increase your memory retention, or just to grasp better understanding, because there will be a lot of people who have there's a billions of people who have access to internet, and those are the people most of the people will have devices which they will be able to connect with the internet and use the internet, social media, those kind of stuff. So there's a lot of people who have access to YouTube, who have access to social media. They can also watch the same thing as you do. What makes the difference between you and them is you should take action fast. Fast. F-A-S-E, fast. Speed of execution, like how fast you can go from idea to design, to implement, to result, and feedback, and repeat. Right? So that is how you can actually improve. That's how you can actually grow. That's how you can actually force your brain to learn better, to retain better, and to implement in a real world scenarios. So you will be able to connect more and more ideas from different fields without any without having to like put a lot of effort into, because like you will instantly see the pattern. You will recognize these patterns from different fields as much like if you actually do experiment every single thing that you have learned in a real world. Right? So that's something I have learned, and I had to learn that in a harsh way, because like I used to waste like 6 months to 2 years of my precious time. So at the time like, I was 14 to 15 years old, so I waste that amount of time just for like consuming content and not actually implementing any single of them. But like I implemented like 30%, but not worth it, right? So yeah, so but this year, like at this time, since I already know that, since I already learned this lesson in the early stage, so I'm still in 16, so I still can be considered as young adult, right? So I still can able to apply these concept, apply these lessons that I have learned in an early age, and apply it in a real world in the future. so that I won't repeat these mistakes in the future, and I will be able to make a better, more beautiful future for myself, and including for my family. Right, so that's what I'm building right now. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video. So those are like 3 lessons and mistakes that I have learned through this time. Alright, so I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.